we're dialing for diamonds, right? We can't be afraid of the phone. We can't, the phone will never attack us. The phone will never hit us. The phone is just a tool to use for everybody to connect with more people, right? And I like to call it dialing for diamonds, right? Because the diamonds are the clients. The diamonds are the on the other end of the phone that you're potentially trying to attract, right? So real quick. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about expired, tactics for expired today, expired listings, okay? So again, at the end of the day, it's all about getting more listings and having happy customers, right? So how do we gain more customers? How do we have happy customers? How do we attack to attract more happy customers, right? Well, it's our mindset. It's the way we treat them. It's the way we handle them. It's the way the advice we offer them, right? It's a new listing. It's a brand new listing. It's a new customer. It's a new client. We've never talked to them. But the way we handle it can lead to happy customers in future sales, in referrals, and stuff like that. Okay? So let's get right into it. Okay. When you're talking to expired, it's a lot about understanding where they are coming from, right? Their position. Put yourselves in their shoes, right? You have to have empathy for the clients because they're going through a situation where they thought they were going to be able to sell their home, and now they're starting to realize that they may not sell their home on their own, right? So we have to be more agreeable with clients. We never want to disagree. We don't want to come off like, you know, they're not right, or they did something wrong, or stuff like that, right? See, a lot of agents try to prove what they know about real estate instead of building rapport with that client, instead of building a relationship, instead of finding out the customer's needs, right? We have to win the customer over, and we do that by building trust. The way to do that is not to prove to a client or a customer what we know. It's really about building rapport and getting to know that customer, know their family, know their background, know about the kids, know what clicks with them, what doesn't click with them, right? And it's truly not selling the home or getting the listing. Sometimes it's really about selling ourselves first. The home and getting the listing, that comes later. But if you're struggling trying to sell yourself, you're never going to get that listing because the customer won't trust you because you didn't build rapport, right? You'll get the listing if you build rapport, build trust, and that client feels that you're the best fit for their needs. But if you go into it with the intention that you're just there for the listing and don't care about them, you'll lose the customer. You'll lose them. And future sales, maybe, right? So again, we have to be confident. Confidence key. You have to have, man, I don't know. You just have to know that when you make a phone call on an expired and you're talking to that client, you have to know that you're the best agent for that job. And what do I mean by the best agent for that job? What do I mean is you're prepared. You know what you're going to say. Your fluid of communication is there, right? You're smiling, you're happy, you're energetic, you're upbeat, you're positive with the customer, the client. You have to know that deep down inside, it doesn't matter if 10 or 20 realtors have already called the customer. You have to know deep down inside that you're the best agent for that job, right? It's about our self-talk, right? It's about how we prepare ourselves before we pick up the phone, okay? You can't have self-doubt. It's virtually self-doubt is just not allowed. You can't tell yourself that it may work, it may not work, because once that happens, trust me, the customer will pick up on that. The customer will feel that The customer will sense something on your end. Maybe they're unsure of themselves. Maybe they're just not the right agent for the job, right? Why? Because, oh, I don't know, maybe we're just not upbeat. Maybe we're just kind of down. Maybe we're just like not really feeling that great and we didn't really want to pick up the phone anyway. The customer will pick up on that. The customer will pick up on that. It cannot feel like you are stumbling in what you're saying or unsure of the process, right? You have to know the process. You have to, again, believe that you are the best agent for the job. Hands down. Once you tell yourself you're the best agent for that job, for that customer, everything else will go away. Your self-doubt, you're unsure of the process, all that stuff, all those fears, all those things we create in our heads, right? They just start to go away. Because we believe and we tell ourselves we're the best agent for this job, okay? We also have to take control of the situation. We have to be in charge of, we have to control the conversation. We control the conversation by asking the right questions, asking deeper questions, asking questions that pertain to an expired, to the clients and the process they went through and how they got to this position in their listing, right? Trust me when I tell you, clients, they want to be led by you. They're looking for someone to grab their hand and say, follow me. Let's do this together. Let's partner up and let's do this together. They want that. They may say they won't, but that's just the guard they throw up in the beginning. They truly want that. They want to lead. They want to lead the situation. You have to lead the situation and the conversation all in one. You're an expert. You're the agent. You do this all the time. You do this every day. They don't sell their homes or try to buy a new home every day like we do, right? We're the professionals. We're the ones that role play. We do all our scripts. We make all our phone calls. We're the expert. And a lot of times we have to act like one. We have to be a professional agent that's an expert that knows our situation, knows the customer situation, knows how to build rapport, knows how to get common ground. You're on stage. It's a performance. Every time you get in front of a client or get a client on the phone, it's your time to act. It's your show, right? Be the expert. Be the expert. So really, truly, at the end of the day, what is an expired listing in real estate? What does it really mean? Like, what does that mean? Well, it's when a homeowner contacts agents to sell their home. The listing agreement has an expiration date on it. The listing expires when the date of the expiration has passed without the property being sold and without the homeowner renewing the listing contract with the original real estate agent. That is when the contract date expires. The agent doesn't contact the listing agent doesn't contact the customer, let them know their house at 11:59 and 59 seconds. All of a sudden it becomes an expired, right? And in the morning it goes on the new list on the MLS and it's on the expired list. And then that's when we have to make the call. And that's when we have to get deep and dig deeper, okay? So here we go. See, most people don't even know that their property expired. They hire an agent because that's kind of their responsibility to make sure that like we're on track with everything, we're doing the right things, right? They wake up and all of a sudden the phone is ringing off the wall. 7 a.m., 7:30, their phone's going crazy. They can't figure out why they're getting all these phone calls, right? They're confused. They're like just getting up, they're starting their day, and they're like, and this typically would make a client upset, right? Or frustrated. And they get kind of like angry. They get kind of like, they're so mad because the phone just keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. But remember, the customer's really never upset with you as the calling agent. They're really truly upset with their situation, right? It's not you, it's their situation. They hired and they trusted an agent. The agent told them that they would do a job for them. All of a sudden now they're getting calls by 20, 30 other agents that say, hey, we can do the job for you as well because your home is currently now expired. And so it's not you, right? You just have to have the empathy for them and what they're going through. And all of a sudden things are changing. They're getting all these phone calls from all these agents, and they're like, why? What is this? What is this all about? Why is there so many people calling us? It's because they didn't know that their home expired at midnight. So they're just confused. They're not upset with you. They're just, it's their situation. They're frustrated. They're, you know, there's a lot of emotions going on there when their listing expires. Here's just a few tips, few tactics, few things that happen when we try to approach expireds on the phone. Just want to go through them with you, share them with you. You may know all this already, but it's a good refresher. It's a good reminder of what could happen and how things happen. So you make a phone call to that expired listing. You're the 30th phone call that happens. The client basically like, hey, stop calling me, and you know, they hang up on you, right? That's a difficult phone call. Like, how do you rebound from that? Like, how do you get back up and get motivated and challenge yourself to call the next one, or to follow up with them again? And because you know what, of the 30 agents, you're not going to be, there's only going to be a certain percentage of the agents that follow up with that client, right? So it's always a challenge when you get off the phone with a difficult call. It's always difficult to rebound. It's difficult to go through that. But all the agents go through this, right? All our agents go through this. We all deal with it. It all happens. But how do we rebound? You know, one way is to stay motivated is always having your prospecting board in front of you when you're making these calls, right? Remember why you're making the calls. Remember what's important to you. Remember the outcome that you're looking for. Remember your business plan that you're setting up now for next year. Like, remember the reasons you're doing the things you're doing, right? So that's one way to motivate yourself to get back on the phone, right? Always have that prospecting board right in front of you. Know why. Find your why, right? We always talk about finding our why. Never take it personal. Don't ever take it personal. Sometimes we make things up in our head that just really aren't true. It's kind of like more like our self-talk and what we prepare and what we tell ourselves before it actually happens, and it never usually does happen, right? You may get a call from a client who seems, you know, really rude and just upset, but you know what? They could be just having a bad day. It happens, right, to all of us. So never take it personal. It's never you. If you give people the benefit of the doubt and keep assumptions to a minimum, your fears will dissipate. They'll go away. All your fears they'll start to diminish. They'll leave. There'll be no more barriers, right? Don't keep filling your head with assumptions. Oh, they're not going to list with me. Oh, they're not going to sign a new listing agreement with me. They have another agent. They're working with this one. See, all that is self-talk and it's self-doubt, and you start to assume, and you make up all these things in our heads that block us from actually doing the thing that we're supposed to be doing, which is just moving on to the next one, just continuing with the process. Just keep smiling, stay focused, keep that prospect board up, and just keep moving on. Eliminate the self-doubt, eliminate the assumptions that you're building in your head. So the big thing is the commitment and the attitude, right? The commitment is the first step, right? You have to be committed to the process. You have to be committed to making the phone calls. You have to be committed to maybe contacting those expireds that you maybe didn't want to contact, if that's one of your 3 areas that you're going to go after, right? So remember something, success doesn't happen overnight. We've heard it, we hear it time and time again from everybody in our life. You have to build it. You have to create it. You have to build success. You have to train for success. You have to motivate yourself for success. It just doesn't come to you like on a silver platter. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it doesn't. You have to make an honest commitment to using expired leads to drive your business, right? If expired leads is an area that you're gonna use and handle, you have to make a commitment to expired leads. It's going to help drive your business. You just have to make it an honest commitment to yourself and to your business, right? And again, here's a big thing for me, having the right positive attitude. Give me the difference between successful and not. So if you have a bad attitude and you're just not a happy person, you're not excited to do what you do, you're not going to be successful. I'm sorry. It's just, you may have some success here and there, but it won't be a streamline of success if you're always motivated, upbeat, right? So great salespeople will get many no's before they get, we've heard this before. Great salespeople will get many no's before they get a yes, right? What does that mean? It means calling 25 people and having one person respond, right? But that one person could lead to a yes. So we can't forget about the other 24 no's. They're part of the process. The no's are the part of the process, right? Have the attitude that every no is one step closer to your next yes, right? And I always tell people, you're one phone call away from creating your next listing, right? From creating another customer in your database, from making someone happy, right? You're one phone call away from getting another referral from a past client, right? You're just that one phone call away. So don't hesitate to pick up the phone and make the call. It has to happen, right? Just pick it up, make the phone call, and good things will happen. But again, have a good attitude about it. Okay, in practice, here's a big one, right? Every Friday morning at the office at 9 a.m., we role play for expires, okay? Expired listings. But again, remember something. Every morning at the office at 9 a.m., we role play. Every morning at 9 a.m., we role play. And why do we role play? We role play because we want to get better. We want to be able to overcome objections. We want to be able to have the word tracks correctly. We want to know what to say when a certain situation comes up, all right? And scripts are designed because they're proven to produce results in a positive way. Role playing, I've heard people say over the years, role playing, oh no, I get embarrassed talking in front of my peers. Why? Isn't that the easiest people to talk in front of? Because we're here to help you. Working with a team, all you're doing is around the people you're around all day, and you can role play. That's when you want to make mistakes, right? You don't want to make mistakes when you're talking to clients. You don't want to make mistakes when you're on the phone trying to pick up the phone and make those calls. So with every time you practice a script, it no longer becomes a script, right? The more you practice it, it's really not considered a script anymore, right? It just becomes part of your like regular vocabulary, right? So remember, it's just not a script. The more you do it, the more you practice, the more you say it, it just becomes part of your normal conversation, okay? So expires are getting a lot of calls from a lot of agents, okay, in the morning time, and a lot of them are not asking the right questions about their concerns and their dreams. You have to take that time, right? You have to know what's clicking with that client. You have to know what's clicking with that customer. What are they concerned about? Why didn't their property sell? Why did it expire? What's going on? Who are they working with? What was their marketing plan? What was their exposure? They're concerned. They're like, you have to be the agent that's different. You have to be the agent that goes above and beyond all the other agents that's already called that has had the same spiel, right? Hey, I can do this for you. I can do this for you, blah, 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 right? We want to be that different agent, right? By taking the time to listen to the homeowner, you're not able to build a better solution for them, but you're also building a relationship of trust, right? At the end of the day, consumers want to be able to trust us to build a relationship, have that rapport, and move forward with business. So in short, at the end of the day, it's about getting the listing, right? It's about having that customer base. When we make happy customers, and it can be through expireds, we end up getting referrals. We end up creating a sphere of influence, right? Our closest, our friends become, our customers now become friends. Now they trust you. Now they tell their sister, their brother, their uncle about you. Now you have another piece of the pie. Then you expand that way, right? but you have to take the time to listen to homeowners. They're going to tell you, if you ask the right questions, they're going to tell you how to help them and how you're able to build a relationship of trust with them. Trust me. So that's really all I have right now for expireds. It's a great way to streamline your business. This may be an area that you want to get into and want to attack. If it is, just let myself know and how we can help you and grow your business. I appreciate your time this morning. Is there anybody that has any questions? Anything? Any questions from anybody? No questions. Are you sure?